J-Bay exclusive.
And that's how we're going to open the episode.
I've always wanted to be a tag.
You are a tag.
I'm Jax Jones' tag.
What you gonna do?
That's me.
Is it true that you get pub on every song that's used on?
Okay, so here's the actual truth.
Hey guys, it's Jay Stevens. Welcome back to the Sellout Pod. Everybody clap. Thank you so much. Here is where we celebrate the groundbreaking, genre-defying, out-of-the-box thinking musicians, singers, songwriters, artists of today, taking risks and creating their own lanes. And I can't think of a better person who matches that description more than my guest today. I'm so excited. I need to let me read the card so that I can properly introduce him. So today I am talking to British Grammy-nominated producer, singer, songwriter, artiste, oh my God, who has worked with Beyonce, Dua Lipa, Madonna, Her, BTS, Christina Aguilera, Flo, and the list goes on and on and on. No pun intended. Everybody give it up for MNEK! Everybody clap. Thank you. Welcome to the Sellout Pod. Thank you so much for being here.
An honor to be here.
It's an honor to have you. You don't get it.
I mean, the request was so sincere. It was like...
The request was begging, for the record.
No, it was more... I don't know if begging is a verbiage. I feel like it's more like... It was just loud in the back of a club.
It was. We were in the back of a club. And
it was red lighting.
Hey!
You were more like, I've got a podcast and I really think you'd be an amazing guest for it. And, you can say no if you want to, but I think you'd be really great for it.
Yeah.
That's why I remember the verbiage
that
thing.
That sounds like me, unfortunately. Well, the reason I was having these thoughts in the back of the club.
Please.
I just knew that when I was putting this podcast together and I was thinking of these voices that I wanted to celebrate, Black voices who I just feel like do it all and do it well. I knew that you were at the top of my list because you are incredible, not only as a singer in front of the scenes, but also behind the scenes as many, many multi-hyphenates, okay? I don't know what you don't do. Your discography is so expansive. Your taste is also expansive and immaculate. Just well-versed in all types of genres across borders, okay?
Thank you, Jay.
I'm going to stop. Your head's getting too big.
It's the kindness for me. My head is really large. And,
no, you deserve
it. Let the record show that I'm a J-Bay.
Thank you.
SMH.
Yes! He's trying to think of another song.
No, I'm not trying. Listen, I'm being put on the spot. Don't do that.
I didn't put you on the spot.
SMH, I love Wet so much. I love your
Thank
discography.
You so much.
Anyway.
I really appreciate that.
And that's my baby.
Yes.
Stream That's My Baby,
That's
people.
My Baby, everybody. Thank you for that plug.
That's okay.
So we're going to get back to what's important, which is talking about you. So I would just like to plug you a little bit because I became acquainted with you during my peak Anglophile years. Okay. So back in the day, I was very much in love with a group called One Direction.
Right.
And that kind of led to me being like, oh, wow, what is England? What a concept,
Right.
So if you can imagine me in high school, late at night, about 11 p.m. doing my homework. Around this time is when something called The Breakfast Show was coming on in the UK. And every morning, there was this song coming on that went, oh, baby, baby, baby. I was like, what is that? And I feel like that was my first introduction to you and your voice and even kind of house music, honestly.
Sure.
I hadn't really listened to that much at that point. And I just felt like you ruled the radio. Also, Need You 100% was playing nonstop. I discovered after the fact that you were involved on that too. I was like,
I'm the Hummer.
What isn't this guy?
I am a Grammy-nominated Hummer, people.
As you should be.
Right.
Yes. Deserved. And yeah, I just remembered the more that I dove deep, you were just all over the place. What were your influences like growing up in your house? And how did that shape what you eventually started working on, singing on?
I feel like actually like all of my I feel like I'm the result of a lot of the stuff I listened to growing up in some type of way.
Yeah.
My parents put me on a lot of R&B and New Jack Swing, and my mom was a massive like Whitney fan, so I'd always be listening to diva vocals, and I think that like any singer like who like makes the type of music we make, or like that with our taste or whatever, it's like we grew up listening to the Whitneys, the Mariahs, the Janets, the Beyoncés.
I very rarely listen to people who cannot sing.
You know what I mean? We know this. So like it was very that, but then I also lived in London. I grew up in London, and a lot of dance music was always popular growing up. I always listened to it on the radio and always gravitate towards it. And I think, house and dance has always loved like a soulful vocal. And like when I was 17, I'd started working with, people like Rudimental and Duke Dumont and Gorgon City, and they were all making like house records, and just felt like, okay, we want to hear you sing on this.
Yes.
And that was my entry into like making more like dance orientated stuff, and putting my vocals on top, and also co-writing like those types of records as well for other people. And I love that. I love big vocals and I love big beats, and so I guess like them together just kind of has always made sense as far as like a genre goes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I just love that. I do feel like everything that you have a hand in, whether it's like as a writer or producer, just singing it, even like there's a sense of urgency. Like you know how to structure a song. We are getting to the big bang. Have you been singing your whole life?
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then what followed next? The writing or the producing?
It was the writing first.
I feel that.
So I always sang, but then when I was 8, it was like, okay, cool. We're in English and we're writing poems, and I've now spent the most of my life listening to music, so I can get my head around how a song is made.
Yeah.
But then I was now writing, and then I was like, okay, well, I ain't got no beats, you know what I mean? And so
it's kind of like out of necessity. It
became the production was more of a necessity as far as like the beat making bit.
Yeah.
Like being on a computer and making a beat. Like it became like a part of my job.
Yeah.
But I think in my core, singing and writing were like always like the most they informed the production.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like if I couldn't sing or write, then I couldn't produce as well as I could, whether it be like on a computer or just like verbalizing like what I'm hearing, or you know what I mean? So
I feel that. I think I hear that in your music, because I feel like you are so musical, and I think, I'm not gonna shit on producers, but like I think that beats are so much more interesting when they're musically informed, and they come from a place of someone who has like just such a musical sensibility inside of them that wasn't like taught or learned,
Yeah, like a lot of my musical knowledge is very intrinsic and intuitive, and I unfortunately I didn't grow up in a Pentecostal church where I was hearing 7ths and 8ths and 9ths like The House Down, or what I mean? That wasn't my thing. My thing was listening to people who did grow up that way.
Yes.
And like taking from what they learned, and my kind of like contribution music wise as far as like production like these days is often from a point of view of just gut feeling, as opposed to it being like about the fanciest tricks or like doing that. It's more about how it makes me feel.
You are really great at bringing like kind of a chiller, more underground, a bit more sultry feel to like a mainstream pop hit, and vice versa. Like that's something that I've always really liked about you, is I feel like you know how to find that balance of making something that's really cultured, tastemakery, but it's ready for the radio. How do you find that balance? Is that something that you even try for, or does that just come naturally to you?
I tell you what, it's actually the opposite.
Really?
In a lot of ways.
Okay.
I feel like, look, this as a black girl making pop music, and there's definitely like a difference in the intention when you're making an R&B record and when you're making a pop record. Mm-hmm. And I think I've made a lot of pop records. I've had songs that I've done well in pop, and I'm a student of pop. I love, you know, everything that comes with it, the discipline, the sound, like all of that. And some of those things aren't always in R&B, you know? And so when I got asked to work with the Flow Girls originally, my purpose was actually to bring pop sensibility into like what they were.
I heard that 100%.
You know, I mean, because it's generally, a lot of it is, it's not even about the songs that I'm writing with and for the girls, you know what I mean? It's so much about songs that they like, songs that they're digging, and then them coming to me and being like, okay, how do we make this sound like Flow? Like, how do we make this sound like the big production that a group of our size requires, you know?
I think my favorite thing about Flow is, that like this is great R&B music with pop sensibilities. It has the urgency and like you said, the you just said the word, the dynamic, yes, but also the discipline of a pop song. You know, there is structure, there is intention, there's a beginning, a middle, and end to this song, you know.
An alpha and an omega.
Yes, I hear so much in this song. I hear what I was raised on and what I grew up on, but I also hear what I like kind of grew up loving and had to like find for myself, you know, and like a radio ready pop record.
I often think about my first album I put out, like, it's called Language for anyone watching and listening. I released it back in 2018, and, you know, I guess it was a different industry back then, you know, where it was so much about, did this album do well or did it not? You know, as opposed to who did it affect and where did it lead me? And, you know, for instance, Georgia from Flow was a massive fan of the Language album and was a massive... Well, that's before we'd even met, you know what I mean? She was a fan of my music and was singing, like, wrote a song about you at talent competitions. And, you know, she got the music. And, you know, I don't know how instrumental that would have been to us working together eventually on her music as a member of Flow, but I guess there's remnants of things I did in Language and things I've done across my career, like I absolutely take with me to any project I work on.
Yeah, I hear that. It sounds like it was just meant to be.
How was it on tour?
How was tour? We don't have enough time for that. Tour was great. It started like very scary, but then it got less scary. Okay, and then it got fun, and then it ended. So right as I got used to it, I was like, whoa. You know, I think I started getting fun around the time we were in the club, and I was like, can you be on my podcast? You know, like.
Was it me?
Yes, it was you.
It was all me.
Oh my God.
On my impact.
No, I definitely think it was your impact. I think I'm glad that I'm at a space where I feel comfy with you, because I was thinking about the first time I worked with you.
What, in Tile Yard or the music?
Tile Yard, yes.
Oh my goodness.
If anyone knows, Tile Yard is a block of studios in, it's King's Cross?
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, that was kind of like one of my first sessions.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I did my first ever sessions in London. I felt like we wrote something really cute that day.
Lip Lock was the name.
Yes.
Do you remember that song?
Yes, I do. I love it when
our lips lock, lips lock, and...
Oh my God, you remember that?
Of course.
That means so much to me. I feel like you really taught me a lot about collaboration that day. Is that usually kind of how you are, like in a session? Like, how are you as a collaborator?
For me, it's not necessarily about taking control. It's about being able to... The song is king, you know what I mean? Ultimately, I do whatever it is in order to serve the song, you know? And if that means like jumping through some hoops, doing some backflips, throwing my ass in a circle and then doing it over again, and maybe hurting some feelings or intentionally or not, the purpose is to make a great song.
Yeah.
Especially now that I'm older, I do have a sense of awareness of what I bring to a session.
Yes.
And what I bring to a room.
Yeah, I feel you. I've had to get comfortable with the idea of being comfortable with being the person in the room with like the least amount of ideas and seeing like, the growth and beauty in that. Because in the beginning, like I told you, like in working with you, I was like, I need to come with like so much so I can impress everybody, you know? And like I really do think I mean, I just feel like that's how I was in the beginning of my writing career. I just feel like I need to show up and I need to impress everyone.
Sure.
Everyone needs to love me and blah, blah, blah. And is that not, did you ever experience that kind of in the beginning, or were you really just freewheeling it?
Because how old were you when we met?
Maybe 18?
Right.
Yeah.
It like I was 14 when I got in this, and I was doing sessions with all these older people. Right.
Yeah.
And I always remember I had a session when I was on my 17th birthday.
On your birthday?
On my birthday is crazy.
I had one bad session on my birthday. I never did a session on my birthday again.
You know what? That's enough to trigger. I feel that's enough to trigger anybody. So I get that. This session was good though.
Okay.
It was with, you know, Diana Gordon?
Yes.
So it was with her when she was Winter Gordon.
Fire.
And I worked with her and she was laying down these harmonies for this song. And I was like, add this one. And then she told me, she was like, Uzo.
No, you do move very fast.
I do move fast. I do come with the like I get it popping.
Quickness.
But she goes, you want to know one thing I learned from Ryan Leslie? You gotta pace everything. You gotta make sure that everything has its place.
Oh.
And it always stayed with me.
That's
like I never forget her saying that, because I bumped into her again several years later and I was like, I haven't forgotten that advice you gave me. That really like stayed with me.
Yeah.
I like being able to take what I've learned from other people and actually be able to learn from other people and not feel like I'm the smartest person in the room.
That's actually, I feel like I'm going to take that with me, because I do feel like especially when I have an idea, because I don't think I'm getting better. I'm getting better. But I don't think I'm like you in the sense that like I've always loved like collaboration. Like in the beginning, it was very much something I was afraid of, because like I spent so much time writing by myself, recording myself, making this whole thing myself, and now I have to talk to people and like make a song with them. Like that sounds really scary. I don't understand it. And then it kind of became like a source of almost resentment towards the other person because I couldn't communicate it properly. So then I was just like, forget it. Like, I'm just gonna, you know? And then that's how I end up with like EPs, like, fuck it, I'll do it myself, where I did the whole thing myself out of spite, which I wouldn't recommend, but like, you know, it turned out fine.
It should always be out of like, because I mean, you're capable of it. I think that collaboration should elevate you as opposed to stifle you.
Yeah.
And I think that there have been times where I can even admit that collaboration is often has stifled maybe bits where, okay, my personality or my thoughts could just come out and concentrate, or, you know, even working with an engineer. Sometimes if you're used to doing your own vocals, like you and I, you know what I mean? Like we're used to recording our own vocals, knowing what harmony goes left and right, all that stuff. And like, here goes random, like engineering. Slowing the process down, not knowing the P's and Q's.
Yeah.
You know? That's where collaboration can stifle. But like, if it can make the process like easier and better, then that's the money, I think.
How do you keep your joy during that process? Like, have there been moments where the process has stifled the joy, and just like, especially because like a business, because at the end of the day, it is kind of a business and it can get very transactional. Mm-hmm. How do you keep the joy and the creativity in it for you? Where do you find that personally?
I'm still in that process for real.
Damn.
But then it
never ends.
But no, you know what the truth is? I've thankfully, as a result of doing this for 15 years now of my fucking life, I don't have to do every session. I don't have to go to every room. And, you know, a project like the Flow project, for instance, could only happen because it was one of the only projects I wanted to work on for the past couple of years.
Yes.
I didn't really want to be doing the houses of every person and this person. I wanted to, my main goal as far as doing this, being able to work on projects and being able to work with artists and have long-standing relationships, and it not be a thing of, you know, because a lot of the big names that everyone pulls out of the press release and, you know, makes it such a bit. Listen, no shade, no shade. Look, I've done this many times. You know what it is? It's very impressive and it makes people interested and excited, you know. But the reality is, some of these songs are album tracks, 1, 2 songs. songs where it's like not necessarily like the biggest hit of the album, but it's either way, it's great to be a part of it. But they are very established artists, and they have their own teams, they have their own story, and I'm literally just a line in it for real. And I wanted to work on projects that I had like goodwill in, good like faith in, I really believed in.
Yeah, that's important.
So it's like the Flow project. So it's, the Zara Larson's album.
Mother.
So I've exec produced that as well, and like that's coming out in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just got announced. Midnight
oh my
Sun.
God, yes, everybody, Midnight Sun.
Yeah, Midnight Sun coming September
September
26th.
September 26th.
Yeah, no, I mean like that's the thing. Like Zara asked me to. She was like, I need you on this album.
Yes.
I need you to exec produce it and oversee and help me achieve my vision. Which is great because with Zara, when we first worked together, it was for Never Forget You.
Yeah.
And it was the first song she'd ever written.
Yeah.
So that layer of comfortability was there with her as far as like.
Always so nice to do it with friends. I mean, I'm definitely finding that like networking out instead of like up all the time, like out and around the local community that's coming up with you, genuine interest, friends, instead of just exhausting yourself at every opportunity, which obviously at one point, we had to do.
We definitely, I mean, I think it's fair to look up sometimes and be like, can I reach that? Can I go further?
Yeah, definitely.
But there's also like knowing when you're good.
Yeah.
There's that too.
That's gorgeous. What did your parents think? Were they like involved? Were they supportive? What's the vibe?
Well,
are they musical?
They're not musical.
Okay.
But they're like creative people, you know what I mean? And they love music. So their taste in music was definitely what inspired me, and like they know a good song.
Period.
So
obviously.
And I'd always go to them and play their music whenever I'm feeling like, okay, what do you think of this?
Really?
Like, yeah.
That's so nice.
No, I do trust their opinion. But they're not musical people, and my dad in particular was someone who just really was like, okay, you just have to be careful about this. Like you can't just be willy-nilly about wanting to be in music. Like you should really have a plan B.
Oh.
I just didn't have a plan B.
You didn't have a plan B.
No, this had to work. It had to work.
I feel like that's the way that it does work, when it has to.
But I just didn't see any other option.
By force.
You know what I mean? I just didn't see I didn't have academics or, any other things I could be looking at and be distracted by. It was like, I was like, this is the only thing I ever wanted to do. And I think being able to clearly say it at 13 when my dad asked me one time was one of those real kind of watershed moments for me.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because he asked me one day and he was like, what do you want to do? What do you like?
Straight up.
It's true. I
How
think
are
about
you
now.
getting out of my house?
I literally think about right now, and he just asked me one day, he was like, what do you want to do with your life? You know what I mean? And you remember, I'm like, I'm British Nigerian. So he's
like, I need to know.
I have to know.
What school are we sending you to?
Right now. He needed to know. And I was able to really articulate and just say, look, I want to sing.
Yeah.
I want to write for other artists, and I want to produce as well. And I was really clear, and I think
And I think when you're clear, and they know you're serious.
Yeah. Maybe I manifested it back then.
I think you did.
Just
Absolutely.
because I just did not even, the idea that it wasn't possible just wasn't in my head.
That sounds like such a really pure approach. I just love everything about little 13-year-old.
Little Uzo.
Little 13-year-old Uzo, he's just I just want to sing, mama. I just want to sing. I just want to sing. Do you feel like as you stopped singing in the basement and started actually entering into this very real industry, do you feel like you were kind of, I don't know, do you feel like that pure approach was ever shifted at any point, or slightly? Yeah, okay.
The purity changes. I'm sorry, I came in as a teenager.
Yeah.
I came in living with my parents.
Yeah.
And then obviously, you start making money and you start growing in this industry, and your tastes change and your desires change, and your intent evolves.
Did you ever feel a certain pressure to sound a certain way even? Or like, was that a pressure you put on yourself, or did you feel it from other people?
It was probably self-inflicted.
I feel that.
I think like there was a self-inflicted pressure to have my own records as an artist do as well as the stuff I was writing for other people.
That's very real.
And it was debilitating.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like I'm an extremely different artist to everyone I've worked with. You know what I mean? Literally top to bottom.
Yeah.
You know, so it's unfair to myself to compare it and to make my stuff feel like lesser because of just this numeric whatever. But I was definitely in certain situations that measured success in that way and measured success in that way in a very aggressive type thing. So,
I get that.
You know, and if with that mindset, you don't really think about the actual, you know, like physical people coming to see you in person, or like, you know, all those like tangible things. Like you're just so consumed by millions and millions and millions of people that you'll never meet, and that probably it's just another song to them, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's been my main pressure over the years, where I felt like, okay, cool, I've been able to get billions and billions of streams via this other song that I've written for someone else, but then what about, you know, who cares about what I gotta say?
Me.
Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate that, you know? So, but it's not healthy to measure anything that way, you know? Like, you know, you just have to go for it and just believe that it's worth it. At the end of the day,
it's all you.
Yeah.
Like, I hear you in the Flow Records. I hear you. Why are you in the background of Soft?
Oh, okay. I can explain.
I was like, who is this? Oh my God, yes. Answer this question.
That's me.
Because I thought it was Ty Dolla $ign.
Right.
I was like, what's he doing here? And then you said it was you.
It was me.
Like, yeah, he's all up in it.
It was me. It's the one vocal I have on that album.
I
That's
would
me.
love to hear more of you.
I put it in like an AI talkbox filter.
Okay.
And there was more.
AI Ty Dolla $ign.
There was more talkbox moments, and the guys were like, we just want this one.
Just a little touch.
We just want to hear touch me, delete everything else.
Gorgeous.
So,
love that little touch.
my claim to fame.
Gorgeous. I loved it. It was a great tidbit. I've got like a good feel for your mothers, your founding mothers, you know, who you love, who you look up to, who raised you. Here on the Sellout Pod, I would like to ask who you would induct into what I like to call the Sellout Hall of Fame, which is where we commend the girls who took a risk. They did something out of the box, something unexpected. That mother who said, I don't care what you want from me next. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to shock the masses, and it's going to be a hit. Or maybe it wasn't a hit. I don't know. Just the trailblazers, you know, who decided to really break out and do something that nobody saw coming. And then maybe it shaped the MNEK we see today.
I want to put in Kate Renata.
Ah!
I do.
That counts as a mother.
I think Kay is a mother.
Okay.
I think, you know, I remember when he first got into the industry, and you know,
what was that like? Because I don't.
It was. I mean, I think everyone heard the Tidra Moses "Be Your Girl." Like that was his first. Like, it's like, oh, who made this beat?
Non-stop when I worked at Urban Outfitters.
Okay, you know what I mean. You heard the "Be Your Girl." You heard the "If" remix by Janet. You know what I mean. He just killed it. You know, and I think he brought Black people back to the dance floor.
Yes, he was definitely like someone that I felt, you know, like even my mom was tapping into something that like she hadn't previously really been exposed to, you know? So yeah, that's actually a great one.
No, I think he's so amazing at what he does.
Yeah.
And I think that where he stands as like a queer Black man in dance music is, I mean, he will go down in history, I think, personally. Already. Okay, so.
Do you have a song that you would add to the Sellout playlist of his that, like, is a shining example of some of his best work?
I'm going to put in the Wrote a Song About You, Kate Renata edition, because
shameless plug.
It's a shameless plug.
I love
it's a classic that deserved more.
No,
and stream that. because K tore the beat.
That's right. That's right. You ever had any moments like that where you felt a bit like, I'm going to challenge the norm. I'm going to break out. You ever made any risky moves?
I think that was musically just to make sure.
You're a risk taker.
Now listen, okay. No, I think that it was definitely around the time of the Language album. I think that I was taking a risk for myself as far as like the really going for making a pop R&B dance record, and even just from like the aesthetics and kind of really being open to showing, you know, my identity a bit more, and through the choreography, through the fashion, through all of that stuff. And you know, this was like before Lil Nas came out with like Call Me By Your Name and all that stuff.
I'm
so it's like,
glad you said that, because I definitely felt like it was my first time seeing like a Black queer man just like walking in that space musically. And like, I mean, I'm sure maybe it wasn't the first for you, but for me it was the first time seeing that, hearing that so boldly, so amazingly well executed. And I just felt like I didn't really know you like that, but like I felt proud. I was like, I haven't seen or heard anything like this, and like he's rocking it, you know.
Thank you.
I don't know if that came with like serious pressure for you to feel like you had to represent a community in a certain way.
I don't know if it was pressure. I mean, if anything I felt was probably like self-inflicted.
Okay,
because
that's real.
I did want to make a clear message of being like, you know, Black and queer, and putting my hand out to reach out for anyone else who is the same as me, and you're not alone, and all of this. But you know, all our experiences are unique, and I think that things like music can unite us and bring us together and make us feel like one. But you know, in the years after releasing the album, you know, I realized that my life and my career is very unique, and it's very much like mine, and there's no one that can take away from the things that I've done, and no one that can stand in the way of like what is to come.
Amen. Can we expect to hear more of these personal truths on a personal project?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was gonna get denial. I thought I was gonna get pushback. You just came right out.
No,
with it.
I mean, I'm
more.
I'm working on my album.
Enlighten us. Really?
So I'm working on a new album, and I've worked on it kind of like on and off for the past like 6-7 years.
Okay.
And like, it's really been, I feel closer to it now than I have in the past. And I think now because I feel like everything that I'm saying on the album is very poignant, and I feel like I can really back up what I'm saying.
What did it take to get there?
Life, living life. And I think, unfortunately, for people who like receiving music in quick succession, there's a certain amount of life that needs to be led in order to feel inspired to make music.
100%.
You know, and I think that I'm not saying that, I just had to wait all this time and just my life is just so important.
Greatness takes time.
You know what I mean? Greatness does take time. It does take time, and I believe that what I'm making is great, and I'm really excited about it. And I guess it's just, I wanted to just talk about kind of like all the, like, size. You know what I mean? I wanted to talk about size. I wanted to talk about being a bigger guy and owning up the largeness that comes with that, you know? Because I think that whether it be metaphorical, whether it be literal, there's been times where I've, as a result of collaborating, as a result of sharing, as a result of like, you know, there being other people in the mix, there's sometimes trade-offs from that, where you feel like you have to be smaller for that environment, or make room for other people, and you neglect yourself. And I think that this is like, not, I mean, I'm getting deep into it, not to get too deep into it, but like, this album is definitely about, this album is about taking up space, you know what I mean? And then like, I'm excited about doing that.
Take it up.
Yeah.
Please. The radio needs you. Please. That was a fabulous answer. Thank you.
you.
And thank you for telling me that you're releasing another album
The
because
the J Bay exclusive. Do you need to have like I don't mean to be producing your show for you. I know. Sometimes the idea comes to me and I'm just like, is this like a J Bay exclusive?
J Bay exclusive.
J Bay exclusive.
Can you do that again? Okay, 3.
Okay, we'll make sure that's a dry thing on the back.
It's dry so we can edit it.
Okay. J Bay exclusive.
And that's how we're gonna open the episode. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've always wanted to be a tag.
You are a tag.
I'm Jax Jones' tag.
What you gonna do?
That's me.
Is it true that you get pub on every song that's used on?
Okay, so here's the actual truth. There was a time I was getting publishing on every song that What You Gonna Do was on. Jax had decided, he don't want to be doing that no more. So he paid me a fee. And we actually, thing is, before then, I'd featured on one record. I'd been on Housework with Jax.
Yeah.
And then we did Where Did You Go? And which was,
banger.
I love that song. But I was excited to like hear What You Gonna Do before I start singing.
It's not on that song.
It's not on that song.
Why did he do that?
This is my thinking because like, Jay, please trust and believe.
This was the perfect time.
I recorded a new What You Gonna Do for that song. I was too ready.
Did you like layer with harmonies?
Baby.
Did you actually?
Yes. I said.
That's what I would do.
I said, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? That's what I did. And
no, I've done this tag for you for years, and now I'm finally on your song, and you take my tag out.
Ow.
Of course, I would have added a million harmonies too. I would have been like, "This is the remix. What you gonna do?" No, that's fucked up. Jax Jones, if you're watching this.
No, we love everybody.
We do love you, Jax. I actually do love you. He doesn't know me, but like, you're great. Dang, I never realized it wasn't on that song.
Yeah, that's the real. I love the song, but if I could do it my own way, I would have added the tag just for the nostalgia.
Can you do it again? The tag.
J Bay exclusive. It's okay. You have the dry signal somewhere. You can just like add that in. But no, I do want to do a live show. I want to like figure out what the best way of doing that is for the music I'm making, you know?
Yeah, are you gonna dance? Are you gonna hit a little 1-2 step?
Oh, I don't know.
That's exactly what I said.
I've done the boom cack. You know what I mean? I want to have the cojones to be on stage by myself. You know? I've always hidden behind a band or 4 gorgeous dancers, but now I just need to be enough.
You are.
Exactly.
You're more than enough.
Precisely.
Taking up space on this album.
It's all of that.
You heard it here first, people. The new album, Taking Up Space.
No one said that's the title. Shit. Don't tell the people that's the title. Don't want no misinformation about me out there on these streets.
That's the J Bay exclusive. She just spreading misinformation. I kind of asked you this already, but we do actually have a Sellout playlist, and I jumped the gun a little bit. So you've added one Kate Trinata song.
Okay.
A fabulous one. It can be the same song, but do you have a banger just to close us out with as our outro music that is like your song for hyping yourself up, just to remind you who the fuck you are, you know?
Yeah.
You need to feel like you're that bitch.
Okay.
What is that song?
I will tell you what that song is.
Oh my God, JB exclusive.
So it is Make It Happen, Tokyo Dome in 1996.
Okay, that was a deep cut. Can you sing that?
I mean, I can't sing it like Mariah.
I can't afford your
No more than 3 short years ago.
Oh wait! What did you say? Tokyo?
Tokyo Dome.
Is that a remix?
It's a venue.
Oh,
like
okay. When you added that, I thought you said a song "Make It Happen" by Tokyo Dome.
Well, it's Make It Happen by Mariah Carey.
Yes.
But performed
at the Tokyo Dome
in 1996. I was
like, okay, I don't know Tokyo Dome. Okay, but yes, we know that one, and that is a great choice.
It's good, motivational, start your morning music.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
We're putting it on. It's playing right now. We're gonna get the rights. Okay, fabulous. And before we officially go, do you have any words of advice for aspiring, people like me, or people like young pure
Yes.
13 Uzo.
Untainted musicians,
yes, untainted,
older land.
Chasing a dream, you know. What's the vibe? What you got to say? If anyone should be giving advice, it's you.
I think the advice I have is to, I think everyone should honor their musicality, no matter how small or large.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think that sometimes there's been times maybe I felt away because I don't know how to play the piano or play an instrument, or I don't know how to do, you know, music the conventional way, you know? But I know that there's strength in the way that I've been able to communicate music over the years. And even from it being an intuitive thing, and, you know, that's not something to be downplayed. So much of music, when you listen to it, is intuition, you know, as a fan. So then in making it, it should be even more of a thing. So I think that every creative and every young creative, I think it's all about trusting your gut, trusting your vision, trusting your convictions, not letting anything hold you back from, you know, explaining what's on your brain. You know what I mean? So many of these like little ideas can become so big, and, you know, they matter.
Yeah.
That's my little advice.
So, I can't believe you didn't do good in school. You're so smart. Like, I just felt like that was really profound advice. And I feel like that really resonated with me, because I also can't play guitar because my nails are too long, and I didn't do very well.
I love your nails, though.
Thank you so much.
I went for something kind of similar, but it's not the same. I don't want to. You ain't got to zoom in on. You ain't got to be that intimate or anything. But
from here, mine. This one popped off right before we walked in, so I had a little bit of glue.
The young bit of adhesive.
Yes. So thank you very much, and I really appreciate that as someone who can't play guitar currently, never did very well at piano, but always had my voice, you know, and really had to find a way to make music with that, and where it's carried me, that very instinctive musicality that is within me.
Beyond the singing, by the way, because, you know,
what
that's
else
the thing.
Got?
Well, but I mean more so like your voice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I even, because, you know, not to get all like sentimental on this podcast or anything, but like,
I'm
you know,
in a sentimental mood.
Genuinely, I see that you have found your voice as an artist.
Thank you.
And like, or even if, you know, the voice that we have as an artist ever evolving and growing, like, you've got like a firm grip on it, you know, in these past few releases. Like, I love the EP, you know what I mean? And like, that is like an amazing thing to be able to have, and to be able to know, okay, that's what Jay does. That's where she belongs, or that's where she is thriving in, like, as far as sound and vibe and all of that. So
thank you. That is high praise from Mr. MNEK. Thank you so much again for being here and being like such a genius. And thank you to everyone for watching and listening. I hope that you enjoyed it half as much as I did. If you want to keep up with any of my happenings or all of MNEK's future releases, things he's got coming up, you can find all the details in the episode description, okay? Until then, I am Jay Stevens. Thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you on the next one.